Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Jai Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Pada Kacharya Tabbatara Sisumai Divine Grace Yesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nanti Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prince Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vaidya Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai, Ganga Maya Ki Jai, Yamuna Maya Ki Jai, Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Sama Veda Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. All glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, the first step in God realization, text 9. Pariniṣṭhito pi nairguṇya uttama-śloka-līlayā gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe ākhyānaṁ adhītavān pariniṣṭhito pi nairguṇya uttama-śloka-līlayā gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe ākhyānaṁ adhītavān pariniṣṭhito pi nairguṇya uttama-śloka-līlayā gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe ākhyānaṁ adhītavān. Please chant. Pariniṣṭhito pi nairguṇya uttama-śloka-līlayā gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe ākhyānaṁ adhītavān. Pariniṣṭhito pi nairguṇya uttama-śloka-līlayā gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe ākhyānaṁ adhītavān. Pariniṣṭhito pi nairguṇya uttama-śloka-līlayā gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe ākhyānaṁ adhītavān. Pariniṣṭhito pi rājarṣe uttama-śloka-līlayā gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe ākhyānaṁ adhītavān. Pariniṣṭhito pi nairguṇya uttama-śloka-līlayā gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe ākhyānaṁ adhītavān pariniṣṭhito uttama-śloka-līlayā ākhyānaṁ adhītavān nairguṇya uttama-śloka-līlayā gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe pariniṣṭhito, who really realize, api, in spite of, nairguṇye, and transcendence, uttama, enlightened, śloka, verse, līlayā, by the pastimes, gṛhīta, being attracted, cetāḥ, attention, rājarṣe, all-centric king, ākhyānaṁ, delineation, that, adhītavān, I have studied. Translation, all-centric king, I was certainly situated perfectly in transcendence, yet I was still attracted by the delineation of the pastime of the Lord, who is described by enlivened verses. O saintly king, I was certainly situated perfectly in transcendence, yet I was still attracted by the delineation of the pastime of the Lord, who is described by the enlivened verses. Purport. The absolute truth is realized as an impersonal Brahman at the first instance by philosophical speculation, and later as a Supersoul by further progress of transcendental knowledge. But if, by the grace of the Lord, an impersonalist is enlivened by the superior statement of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, he is also converted into transcendental devotee of the Personality of Godhead. With a profound knowledge, we cannot adjust to the idea, to the personality of absolute truth, and the personal activity of the Lord are deplored by the less intelligent impersonalist. But the reason and argument, together with the transcendental process of approaching the absolute truth, help even the such impersonalist to become attracted by the personal activities of the Lord. Person like Śukadeva Gosvāmī cannot be attracted by any mundane activities, but when such a devotee is convinced by superior method, he is certainly attracted by the transcendental activity of the Lord. The Lord is transcendental, as are his activities. He is neither inactive nor impersonal. Om ākhyānaṁ ākhyānaṁ Chakshum Minitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we are studying very, very important part of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Before I start class, I would like to ask, who is doing Bhakti Shastri as a student? No? One. Bhakti Vaibhava? One. Bhakti Vedanta? Okay, who have done already before Bhakti Shastri? Yeah, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta. And who is teaching Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta? Yay! Okay, then now I'm going to ask, who is doing Mayapur Academy this year? Yay! Mayapur Academic ki jai. Who have done Mayapur Academic before and teaching? Who is the teaching? You have done Mayapur Academic twice. Yes. So who came to Mayapur after 2 years of break or more? Yeah, so like I'm seeing very familiar face. Like a long time we are not together, get together, like not like Bhagavatam class officially, but like more like get together. Oh, nice to see you back, and so nice. And especially I want to welcome our Ramaniya Mataji. We have been long lessons of Mayapur, Prabhupada disciple, very saintly Vaishnavi. And I would like to welcome Ramaniya Mataji ki jai. So now I'm going to start the class. First, I'm going to do the overview, then we will discuss today's verse. Overview, just like we are starting Bhagavatam second canto, the first part. So the first canto is just like setting the scene. Like Bhagavad Gita, first chapter is setting the scene. First there is a Dhritarashtra speaking, Dharma-kshetra, Kuru-kshetra, Samaveda, Yuksava, Mamaka, Pandavachai, Vakini, Akurubata, Sanjaya. After assembling the battlefield of Kuru-kshetra, desiring to fight, what my son and son of Pandu did, desiring to fight. Then start from, the word actually start from Dharma, Dharma-kshetra. In the purport, Prabhupada described, this Dharma-kshetra is very important word because the battlefield of Kuru-kshetra was fought in Dharma-kshetra. So those who are pious, Dharma, will be established, that's Yudhishthira. And those who are impious, who are not dharmatic, that's Duryodhana, they will be removed. Then they will be going on setting Duryodhana speaking, who is in our army. Then he is describing to Dronacharya, we have this person, that person, and the other side is there, the Bhima, Arjuna, Yuyudhan. But we have Bhavan, Bhishma, Karunacha, we have you, Dronacharya, you have Bhishma, you have Karna. We are not going to lose because they are led by, protected by Bhima, who is insignificant. But we got Bhishma, Drona, Dronacharya, so we are not going to lose. Then the battle was going to start, and then Arjuna asked Krishna, please draw my fine chariot in the middle of two armies. And Krishna brought chariot in the middle of two armies, specifically in front of Dronacharya and Bhishma. Then Arjuna got so overwhelmed, how can I fight with my superior guru, Dronacharya, grandfather Bhishma? I cannot fight. Nairguṇya Govinda, I'm not going to fight Govinda, I cannot fight. That's what is setting the scene. Then chapter 2 starts, and he said, Kalpanya doso pahatasva. Come on, Bhakti Shastri Karajait. Kalpanya doso pahatasva bhavan. Pechami tu bandharma samuta cetaḥ. Yashe ashanishchitam gṛhīta-cetā. Sishakte hansari manpam papanam. I'm now confused about my dharma, my duty. Please instruct me what I should do precisely. Not maybe this, not that, but precisely. Please instruct me. What shall I do? I am so surrendered to you. So he accepted Krishna as a spiritual master. Then he started doing very heavy thing in the beginning. In the beginning, he started, this is not the word of Aryan. You are born Aryan, but you are speaking as if you are learning the word. But this is not the word of Aryan. Then he starts speaking jnana, that he knows me, yatade, and all the jnana. Then he speak about karma yoga, and then he speak about ashtanga yoga. Then finally, at the end of the 6th chapter, he starts speaking about yogināṁ api sarveṣ. Hey. Yogināṁ api sarveṣaṁ mangate natura atmanam sraddham bhajate yomam same yukta tomo mata. Of all yogis, one who always abides in me with great faith, he always think of me. He is the greatest, and he is most intimately united with me. And that is the beginning of pure devotional service. And then all 7 chapters through, he speaks about pure devotional service. And at the end, he speaks conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Mammana baba mam bhakto manya jimma namaskuru manye vayase satyante patijane priyosme sarva dharman parittajam maekam saranam bhajan aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshaisami machucham. Always think of me, become my devotee, offer obeisance unto me. You will come to me, I promise you, because you are my very dear friend. Abandon all kind of religion, just surrender to me. I shall protect you from all sinful reaction, do not fear. That's the end of Bhagavad Gita. And end of Bhagavad Gita is beginning of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. In many ways, but mainly two ways. One is Sarva Dharma Parityajan, give up everything. Then Bhagavatam starts from Dharma Payojita Kaitava, completely rejecting all other methods of religion, and then only pure devotional service is going to be spoken in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So that is one way. The another way is Bhagavad Gita is beginning of Kurukshetra battle. Now we are going to start fight. That is the Bhagavad Gita. Just before the battle of Kurukshetra, Bhagavad Gita was spoken. And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was spoken. The description was right after the battle was ended. The ladies walking in front, all were so sad. All their relatives was killed. They go to offer oblation to the Ganges. And the Ganges is there, and then Bhishma-deva was lying down on the bed of arrows, and people were so sad. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj was installed. Then after different things was happened, then Pariniṣṭhita Maharaj was born. Then Pariniṣṭhita Maharaj was grown up, and then Krishna left the world. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj, understanding Krishna end up the pastime, he also decided to leave the world. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, Arjuna, Bhima, and Nakula, Sahadeva, Draupadi, they all left. And then Pariniṣṭhita Maharaj, he was installed as an emperor, but then he was also being cursed by the Brahmana boy. He was, in the beginning of his life, he was attacked by the son of Brahmana, Ashvatam, by the weapon of Brahmastra. And at the end of his life, he was attacked by another son of Brahmana, Shringi, with the curse, you will die after 7 days by the snake bird, Takshaka. But first time he was protected, he accepted. Second time he was not protected because he knows he was protected internally, not the body, but then he was protected. Krishna is now calling me, so I'm ready to depart. So he sat at the bank of the Ganges, and he asked the sages, please tell me, what's the duty of everybody, especially those who are about to die? Then many sages were there. Some of the sages was like a karma yogi sage, some of them jnana yogi sage, some are mystic sage, different sages. Everyone has different idea what Pariniṣṭhita Maharaj should do. But when Śukadeva Gosvāmī appeared, everybody stood up and offered respect except Narada Muni and Vyasadeva, and he sat down. That is the setting scene, chapter Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto. Then we are starting second canto. Second canto start from Śukadeva Gosvāmī going to start speak. So the similarity is Bhagavad Gita first setting the scene, then Krishna, Arjuna surrendered to the spiritual master Krishna, and Krishna starts speak. So Bhagavatam also there is a setting scene in first canto, and then Śukadeva Gosvāmī asked the question, accept the spiritual master, and Śukadeva Gosvāmī is going to start speaking. So that was a setting scene and an overview up to now. And the last few days, shloka was very, very important. Shloka one after another, all Bhakti Bhaiva was memorization shlokas, if you remember all the shlokas. You do? Yes? Yes, so all the shlokas, memorization shloka. So first Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, Pariniṣṭhita Maharaj, your questions are very good, very meaningful, because it is going to be enlivened to the people in general and those who are especially about to leave the body. And the answer to this question is enlivened to everybody. So this question is very nice. And then he described how those who are not interested in this kind of thing, that materialistic person, they are spending time during a day, working hard during a night, sleeping and enjoying, and they are not inclined to the ultimate goal. They are so attached to the wife and children and family and this and that, without knowing their inevitable destruction. But those who are transcendental to this matter, they take pleasure in hearing, glorifying, and remembering about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because they will remove all the misery of the suffering soul. Then, yesterday, we heard how Śukadeva Gosvāmī say, I myself learned Srimad-Bhāgavatam, which is the topmost literature, which glorified the Supreme Personality of Godhead from my father, Sri Vyasadeva. Then today's shloka. O saintly king, that means Pariniṣṭhito Maharaj. First, I'm going to do today's shloka one line by line, along with Prabhupada's purport. I want to have a glass so that I can see you, but if I have glass, I cannot read, so I'm going to take out. First, Śukadeva Gosvāmī speaking this verse, and he said, pariniṣṭhitopi nairguṇya. That means, I was certainly situated perfect in transcendence. So for this, Prabhupada described about three aspects of absolute truth. Three aspects of absolute truth is described as the shloka Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Sabdate. Learned and transcendentalists define this absolute non-dual substance as Brahma, Paramatma, Bhagavan. And Prabhupada described how the impersonalist, they realize the impersonal aspect through jnana. Then Paramatma, from Ashtanga Yoga also, what is called? Analytic study, Sankhya Yoga, yeah? Then Bhagavan's feature was realized by Bhakti Yoga. And then everybody knows about the analogy, sun. First, Brahma was compared to sun, shine. Yes? Then that was considered Sachidananda as such the consciousness, existence, right? If I say something wrong, please let me. If I don't see everyone's face and I get so, like I don't know what, I'm half blind. So, Sat Ananda Vigraha. Sat Chit Ananda. So, Sat aspect is by Brahma realization. And Chit aspect, consciousness, is by Paramatma realization. And Ananda is by Bhagavan realization. Thank you. Nice to have a very learned scholar as an audience. So, that was done by these three different methods of realization. But those who first aspect of realization can go to another, and come to the perfect stage. Then I'm going to describe how the impersonal Brahma is actually based on the Bhagavan feature. Bhakti Shastra student. Brahmanohi prastitahan amritasa vyavastita. I am the base of Brahma. Chapter 14. 27 text. So I am the base to Brahman. That means Brahma is so nice, effulgent, is so wonderful. I want to merge into Brahma, so happy. But then what? They have pure consciousness. But consciousness of what? There is no object to become conscious. So there is not perfect realization. There is something missing. So now after that, there will be Paramatma realization. Paramatma realization can be done by Ashtanga Yoga by meditating on Yama Niyama, regulative principle, follow the regulative principle, and then asana and pratyahara, you have sitting posture, and you have breathing exercise, you control your senses. Then dhala, you have atyahara, then you withdraw the senses, then you become absorbed into inner self. Then dhala, then at the end you will come to the stage of perfection, samadhi. In that way, withdraw senses and control the mind and intelligence. And then when we have fully controlled, we don't have material mind active anymore. Then we will have spiritual senses enlivened. And when spiritual senses enlivened, then Krishna will reveal himself to us. That is the Paramatma realization. The Lord who is sitting in the heart. That is the goal of Ashtanga Yoga. And Sankhya philosophy. Why the Sankhya philosophy is Paramatma realization? Because Sankhya means analyzing. What is the 24 element? They analyze what is the 24 element of material element: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, fire, ego. That is 8. Then 5 working senses, and 5 knowledge acquired senses, and 5 objective senses. That together 8 times 15 is 23. Then on the top of that, Mahatattva, that make 24. Then Sankhya, if they are intelligent enough, they will think there is something more than that. Then they will come to the point of the soul, living in spirit. That is 25th element. And then if the person is so materialistic, they cannot go further. At least they went to the soul, that is good. But if they are not the God believing, they are not the devotees, then they cannot come to the realization of God. That is 20, after 25 is 26, right? 26th element, that is a super soul. But someone is more enlivened, they will come to the platform of 26th element, that is super soul. That's how the Sankhya will lead one to the Paramatma realization. So that were the first few shloka, few purport, few line on purport. Then next he goes with uttama-śloka-līlayā. So Śukadeva Gosvāmī was attracted by uttama-śloka-līlayā. That means he was glorified with chosen poetry, chosen shloka, uttama-śloka. What he was glorified for? The lila, the activities. He is not impersonal. He has a personality. He performed the activity. By hearing that, he was attracted. Even though he was originally already transcendentally situated. So Prabhupada said, but if the grace of the Lord, the impersonalist, enlivened by the superior statement of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, he is also converted into transcendent devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada described about how the impersonalist can become personalist. There are 3 methods. In the purport, Prabhupada described by hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam means by hearing knowledge. And next one is by the process, by doing something. Then, after that, by the grace of the Lord of mercy. So for that, and I wanted to say a few things. I hope I will not forget. Usually I forget something so important I want to say. So the first thing I wanted to say was, before I forget. What was it? Okay, 3 things I want to say, but the first thing I remember was Ishopanishad. Sri Ishopanishad, there is a text, Mantra 15. Mantra 15 describes about, oh Lord, please remove your hiranyana patrena, dazzling effulgent, which is covering your face. Please remove it so that I can see you. He is praying to the Lord to remove that effulgent for the impersonalist. That is the goal. That is wonderful. That is everything. But the devotee is praying here, please remove it so that I can see you. Why I want to see? Because when I can see you, then I can do some service, and I can be with you, and I can glorify you. So I want to see you. Please remove your hiranyana patrena, covering of dazzling effulgent. So Sri Ishopanishad start from Isham Vashan. Isham Vashan means Isham Vashan. Ishan Sarvan, Idan Sarvan, Yankichan, Jagatan Jagan, Tena Tak Tena Bunjita. Thank you. Shloka master there. So we start from Ishopanishad. That means we have to live with Isham Basham principle, because Isha means the supreme controller. Krishna is supreme controller. He is controlling and he is owning. He owns everything. Therefore, whatever is here is controlled but owned by the Lord. So whatever we are given as our code, we use it. But whatever is not ours, knowingly that belongs to someone else, don't take it, but respect others' property. And we use what is given to us for the service of the Lord. That is Isham Basham principle. So in the beginning, Ishopanishad described about how Isham Basham principle should be applied. Then later he go to how that knowledge about Ishvara, wrong knowledge and correct knowledge. Then after he is talking about Upasana, how that, because knowing what is good and what is wrong about Isha means Ishvara, what is wrong message about Ishvara, what is proper understanding about Ishvara, that's knowingly that first step, that is good. But that is not enough. Knowingly, we have to do something that is personal. That is how we should worship the Supreme Lord in correct way and wrong way. That is described in that is actually third part. And in fourth part, fifth part, yeah. Then it's described how we know we have to know that Ishvara is controlling and owning everything, and then what is the proper knowledge and what is wrong message, and what is the proper method of worship and what is wrong method of worship. But even we know everything and we do everything, that is not good enough. We have to pray for the Lord's mercy. So therefore, the author of Ishopanishad, that is Swayambhuva Manu, is praying, please remove this Hiranya Patrena. Please remove your effulgence so that I may be able to see you and serve you. So these three things, you have to know the knowledge and you have to do something. Then you have to pray for the mercy. I think Bhakti Shastri's orientation, very beginning orientation we did. I think Mayapura Academy also did. Know, do, and be. No means, we know Bhakti Shastri, I know that he knows me here, but how you apply it, do something, do devotional service, do something. Mayapura Academy has so much service, like service daily cleaning and sadhana and all that. Then be, that means, now I know the knowledge, I am practicing, and I will be pure devotee. That is the goal, sambandha. That is prayojana, avidya, sambandha. That is 3 steps. So by the mercy of the Lord, we have to be able to achieve the perfection. That's the first part I wanted to say. And the second part I want to say was, I almost remember, but then I kind of can't remember what was it. If I remember, I will say. Then Prabhupada talk about this 3 things there. Oh, I remember, but then I remember, but I'm going to say after that. That's something about nectar of devotion. If I forget again, you can remind me. So the thing that I want to finish before that, gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe. I was attracted by the pastime of the Lord, O saintly king, ākhyānaṁ adhītavān, which was described by the enlightened verses, and I studied. He said, yesterday's shloka, Vyasadeva was reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, I heard, but now he's talking about I studied. So here is not enough. Bhakti Shastri, we emphasize, we studied. Not just here in Bhagavatam class, you hear, and then next, oh, that was such a nice class, what did he say? Can't really remember, but it was a nice class. That is not good enough. Therefore, we have to study and study. Study means you read it and you analyze it, you think about it. What does it mean? And we discuss with other devotees. What does it mean? How do you apply it? Oh, I did this and I did that. That is study. We have to apply it to their life. That is study. So Śukadeva Gosvāmī said here, study. So the next few verses before also, we have to Tasmad. That was also Shloka memorization. Tasmad. Tasmad bhavata sarvatma bhagavan ishvaro harishuntam bankirtitam yasya smarantasya tatavayam. Therefore, O King Bharata, one who desire to, descendant of King Bharata, one who desire to be free from all misery, must hear about, glorify, and remember. Hear and glorify and remember Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. And that was text 5. Then now he is talking about plus hearing, glorifying, and remembering, plus studying. He added in this shloka. Then that thing I wanted to say, but then I didn't say, and I'm going to say about why we need Lord of Mercy. That's what I'm going to discuss from Nectar of Devotion. Now I remember what I said. So, six characteristics of pure devotional service. First, kleshagri, free from all miseries. That is like we have all the map, but we have desire, we have ignorance and desire and kuta and bija and all that map. Do you remember? So we have sinful reactions in the cycle, and it's going on and on. We have, because we are ignorant, we commit sins, and then if we commit a sin, it's fructify. Something which is not fructify will come later. If we do sinful activity, that comes to the reaction, and if I don't do it, but then the reaction will come later, or maybe that sinful desire will remain, so it will go in a cycle again and again. But by performing devotional service, all will go. So, kleshagri, free from all the suffering. Then next one is sabada. That is all auspicious. All auspicious means the devotee, whatever devotee they do, they are so happy and are also good for others. Like devotee go Harinama, everyone looks so happy, and then those who see the Harinama, also they become happy. So first, best welfare activity is devotional service, what we are giving Krishna consciousness to others. That is sadhana stage. Even sadhana stage, we get to the symptom of pure devotional service. So it's not like a pure devotional service is only higher stage. No, it's said in Nectar of Devotion. It starts from sadhana stage. There is a two symptoms of pure devotional services described. Then next, in bhava stage, that is prema. That is prema. Moksha lagu tapni. That means even the revelation become insignificant. In sadhana stage, they know the revelation is there, but then because the devotional service they are performing, they think devotional service is better. But in bhava stage, they know the revelation is there, but they become so insignificant because the happiness of devotional service is so great. And then another one is sudulabha. Sudulabha is so rare. Bhava bhakti is very rarely given. Two reasons. One is because you cannot get by your own endeavor. You do so much sadhana, you do so much studying, but you will not get by your endeavor. Krishna has to give. And the second reason is Krishna doesn't give. Because if Krishna gives, then Krishna has to give himself. Krishna will be under his control. So Krishna has reluctancy. He will not give so easily. For these two reasons, Bhava Bhakti is given very rare. Then the last, Prema Bhakti, Prabhu, you just mentioned. Sandharananda Vishesatma. That means condensed bliss. So much bliss, like you boil the milk, it was liquid, and then condensed milk making bath, and it became so condensed, nothing can penetrate. So condensed that bliss is so strong, you don't even notice the existence of moksha. They don't even notice the revelation is there. That much strong bliss, that much strong ananda they are feeling. Then the last is Krishna Akashani. Krishna is controlled by love of devotee who are impure devotee. He become controlled and he is completely captivated. He is under their love. That is pure devotional service. So what I wanted in this connection is, we have to do our part, we have to study, and we have to practice devotional service, but ultimately Krishna has to give, otherwise we will not be able to give. And when Krishna gives, that will be so wonderful, and we will not be able to even notice the impersonal Brahma, Patrena, Brahma Jyoti, so beautiful, but we will not even notice that's much wonderful it is. And then, one more thing I was going to say, but then I forgot. Oh yes, this is the thing I really want to say, and I forgot. I should not forget it. Prabhupada. So Prabhupada gave all this. He gave, his name is Bhakti Vedanta. So Bhakti Vedanta means Bhakti. He gave Vedanta. He gave the knowledge. He gave all the Prabhupada's Bhakti Vedanta purpose. So much knowledge he gave, and he gave the process. We have Mangalarati, Darshanarati, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class, and all these different spiritual activity. He gave the process, 9 processes of devotional service. He gave these 2. And then he gave so much mercy, so much mercy. He gave the knowledge and he gave process, but then mainly we are dependent on Prabhupada's mercy. We are getting so much Prabhupada's mercy. With only that we are surviving, we are progressing little by little. That is all Prabhupada's mercy. Prabhupada is so merciful. We are trying our part, but Prabhupada gave so much mercy. That's how we are little by little progressing in devotional service, and we will be able to reach the ultimate goal. And then another thing I really wanted to mention about, here Śukadeva Gosvāmī is asking, what is the goal, what is the duty of the person who is about to die? So now by chance, I was watching in a Ākhyānaṁ Maharaj Dhammadhararati yesterday. Anybody have seen it? So he was singing Dhammadhararati, which first I was almost not be able to recognize. It's just Ākhyānaṁ Maharaj look like him, but then doesn't look like him, look like a different person. But then he starts singing. I think he has some difficulty in singing, but he was singing such a feeling, such a deep thinking. He is just about to leave the body. He knows he is about to leave, and he knows what is his duty. He travel around and settle all the disciples. Okay, this may be the last time I'm seeing you. I want to encourage you to continue devotional service, and whatever the project he has, he wants to divide the responsibility so that it can go on. So he did all the duty. Now he is going to receive the final days by, just like Śukadeva Gosvāmī was instructing, hearing, remembering, and glorifying the Lord. So he was singing such a feeling, just like he knows so much about Krishna. He was actually teaching Bhakti Bible. He was my teacher as well. And then he was traveling, he was preaching, and then he was practicing devotional service with such an intensity. And now at the end, he was praying, singing Namoladikaya. When he sing, like really, I can feel like he was feeling so much, like I was just hearing and I was almost going to cry. We just sing just because we have to sing. But when he was singing, actually he was really feeling, Krishna, Krishna, please review yourself, please engage me in yourself. I offer my respectful obeisance unto Sri Damodara, who is tied by the Mother Yashoda, and who I offer my respectful obeisance to Srimati Radharani, who was really feeling. That's what we have to do. We may leave the body at any time, so we have to be prepared anytime with feelingly praying, feelingly beg for the mercy. Okay, so I think I said more or less whatever I want to say. So now at the end, I'm going to say how those who actually achieve the perfection, who have achieved Krishna, Prema Bhakti, who conquer Krishna, and Krishna is under the control, what they will do. Because now we are in Damodara month, so our representative, Yashoda Mai, she is the one who bind Krishna. She went to all the Moksha and all that. It's nothing to do with her. She was just prema bhakti. She bind Krishna. Damodararati will sing Yashoda Vyoruka Vamrana. So Yashoda bind Krishna, and Krishna is fully under the control. Pantaskoti, even the yogi, with the speed of mind, they run after the Lord, but they cannot catch. But Yashoda tied with a rope. Of course, she has some difficulty, but with affection of rope, she tied. And then after what she did, that is the point. What she did after she tied Krishna. I think everyone knows. It said that Yashoda Mai, just there is a small children there. Now I tie Krishna. She asks small children, keep the eyes on Krishna. I'm going to some work. She tied Krishna. She tied Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Ajita. She cannot be conquered by anybody. She tied Krishna. That is the perfection. And what she did, she asked small children, look after Krishna, and then I'm going to the kitchen to do some work. She just left Krishna like that, and she went to the kitchen to the work. That's what pure devotee does. She got to do because Krishna has to eat. Otherwise, Krishna will still just on that, and it's outrageous. I'm going to cook something so yummy. So now I'm going to the kitchen and do something. That's what Yashoda did. And what Krishna did. This pure devotee tied me. I'm tied with affection of love. And then while Yashoda is still around there, he still cry, faked cry. And then Yashoda went to the kitchen, and for a few minutes, he kept crying, fake cry, and make sure Yashoda is out of sight. Now Yashoda is gone. Then he said, okay, now show is over. Then he thought, I want to do something. Then he go around, move around, and there is a big yamara tree. I heard that yamara tree is actually huge, like a samadhi. Like we have samadhi, that big tree, and in between he went, and there is a Kubera, sons of Kubera, Nara Kubera, and Manikurava came, and then boom, and a big sound, and everyone came, what happened, what happened, what happened, and then Nanda Maharaj picked up what happened. And then Nanda Maharaj asked, what's happened? Nanda Maharaj already know what's happened because he has told, but then being fair, he asked Krishna. Then Krishna said, Yashoda wanted to beat me and I got so scared. And then after that, Yashoda tied me, I'm so scared. I will only stay with me. And he put the arm around Nanda Maharaj. And then he was just going with Nanda Maharaj. When Nanda Maharaj has to take care of the cow, Krishna will go with Nanda Maharaj. Then Nanda Maharaj has to go to Yamuna to take a bath, and he go with Nanda Maharaj. And when he got hungry, Nanda Maharaj will milk the cow and mix with sugar, and he drink that fresh milk with sugar, and he drink that. And then for a few days, Yashoda was so sad. What I have done to Krishna? Krishna is not going to be happy with me. So she was so sad. She was staying in the house. She didn't want to come out from his house. She didn't want to show off her face to Nanda Maharaj, not to Krishna even. She was so sad, and she was feeling separation. So saying that, Rohini and Balaram felt sorry for Yashoda and asked Krishna, why don't you go to Yashoda? Yashoda is so sad, you should go to Yashoda. And then Krishna said, no, I'm not going to Yashoda. She was tried to beat me, and was so scared not to going. Then they asked, then what you will eat? What you will drink? Yashoda's breast milk, you're not going to drink? No, Nanda Baba will give me fresh milk, and I will mix the sugar and drink it. And then Nanda Maharaj said, okay, then you don't go to Yashoda, but you will go to Rohini, right? Because Rohini is nice. Then Krishna said, no, Rohini didn't help me. I called for Rohini help, but Rohini didn't help me. That day, so happened that Rohini was invited to Upananda's house. So she was not there. And Balaram went with Rohini. So Rohini and Balaram was in Upananda's house. So when the Damodaralila happened, they are not here. So Krishna was complaining that, you ditched me, I called for your help, but you didn't come to him. No, I'm not going to Rohini, not even Balaram. She was crying, hugging on Nanda Maharaj. And then Nanda Maharaj said, okay, so you're not going to Yashoda? if you want, then Nanda Maharaj put the hand, indicate I can beat Yashoda. Then Krishna saw that hand up. No, Baba, don't beat Yashoda, don't beat Yashoda. I will go to Yashoda. And he ran to Yashoda, Lokini's lap, and then Lokini took Krishna to Yashoda. Then Yashoda was so happy to see Krishna back. Then there's the happy end. Then after that, of course, there's the story how Krishna danced according to the beat of Yashoda, and then cowherd girls, and Krishna go to play, and then Yashoda bring Krishna by different methods. One more. Okay. So Yashoda, after a few days, Balaram said, "Hey, Krishna, that day you said to Yashoda, Yashoda said, come, why are you stealing butter? You're like a monkey." And then Krishna said, "If I'm a monkey, you are the monkey, and your father is also a monkey, and my father, Nanda, is also a monkey. That's why you're calling me monkey." And then Yashoda got so frightened. Wow, this small child is speaking. Your father is a monkey? What kind of child? Yes, and I'm a monkey, so I'm going to the forest to live there. So she got so frightened, she tied up. Then Balaram remembered that after a few days, and he said, "Krishna, hey, do you remember you said you're going to the forest because you're a monkey? Let's go." So they went together to the forest. So the maid means caretaker, the ladies, they're supposed to keep eyes on, but they are very tricky. Krishna Balaram so tricky. They cheated them and they escape, and they're playing here and there. So they find out that they are missing. So the nurse means not our hospital nurse, but then taking care of the small children. They went to get them back, but they of course refused to go back. And then Rohini went, but then Rohini couldn't bring them back. So Rohini sent Yashoda to go back. Then Yashoda first, oh Krishna, oh Balaram, glory of the dynasty, please come back. It's time for the lunch and this sweet. Then after they don't come back, because Krishna was winning that game, so he didn't want to leave that moment, so he didn't come back. Then Yashoda said, "Oh, Nanda Maharaj is waiting for you. You cannot come. Then Nanda Maharaj has to wait. Please do not make Nanda Maharaj wait. Please come back." Then by hearing that, Balaram started going back. Because Balaram is very respectful to Nanda Maharaj, he went back. Saying that, Krishna also wanted to go back, but then the playmate said, "Hey, if you leave, we are not going to let you to play next time." So Krishna went back to play. So Yashoda I got Balaram, but then I didn't get Krishna. Now I'm going to get Krishna back. And she said, "Today is your birthday, you have to come back." Then Krishna thinking, then what? Then Yashoda said, "You have to take a bath, you have to give charity to the Brahmanas." Then Krishna came back. He is Namo Brahmana Devaya. If here you have to give charity to the Brahmana, he has to come back. So he came back. But actually what I want to say was, according to Gopal Champu by Jiva Gosvāmī, that was not Krishna's birthday, because this was after Damodara Lila. That is October, November. Janmashtami is August. Obvious simple calculation is not Janmashtami. And Yashoda knows it's not the Janmashtami, it's not the Krishna's birthday, but she actually said this is according to the star constellation, this and that, and she made very difficult description which the small child cannot understand. Krishna, star constellation, I don't understand. Anyway, I have to give Brahmana's charity, so he came back. But actually that was lie. So that's how Yashoda brought back Krishna. But then after she brought back Krishna, she just went through everything. She bathed and then made Krishna give charity to the Brahmana as if that was the birthday. She did everything. So Krishna was completely under the control of Mother Yashoda and a pure devotee of Vrindavan. That's what Śukadeva Gosvāmī is going to bring Pariniṣṭhito Maharaj toward the end. So end the class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any question or comment? Yes. Those who have sadhana and Mayapura Kara Mayapur Institute, you may leave. Otherwise, you will be late for the class.
Thank you for the wonderful class.
Thank you.
And especially, I really appreciate you summarized the chapter. It was really helpful. And my question is, some people have a taste for philosophy aspect of Bhagavatam, like creation and instruction and nature, material nature, things like that. And some people have taste for pastimes aspect of Bhagavatam. So how can one develop taste for pastime aspect, vice versa? How can one develop taste for philosophy aspect of Bhagavatam?
Prabhupada described about that next text. If you look at the purport in the next text, then Prabhupada described we have to study Bhagavatam step by step, not from here one, from there here. We have to go step by step. So we have to start from Atra Sargo Visargasya, Sthanam Posana Uttayam. That means start from creation, sub-creation. Sthana means geography, the planetary system. Then we will study about the protection of the Lord. Then Mambantara, that means change of the Manu. Then Nirodha. Nirodha means annihilation. Annihilation of the body, annihilation of material existence, annihilation of the universe. Then there are Ashraya, Krishna's Ashraya through Swanborn, Krishna's pastime we are discussing now. So we have to go step by step. That is recommended. So someone has taste for that creation, that is good, like Bhaktivedanta thesis, we have to write the thesis. So I like creation part, so I wrote about creation, but other students like Gopinath, I think you did about, what was the topic? Protection, personal protection of the Lord. So the pure devotee discuss about how the Lord protect the devotee, like loving exchange, how the Lord protect. The pure devotee has that taste, but I don't have that yet, so I was talking about creation part. So, but even that low stage, I'm at the beginning talking about creation, how the Mahatattva, how Pradhan, and how material element are created. That's what I like. But if I practice, maybe later on I come to the platform of Gopinath and Tosana and all the protection of the Lord, all that, getting there slowly. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you mean by gradual study, yeah, you can have taste for both aspects.
Yes, studying is really good. Not only reading, but studying, analyzing, and practicing what you study. And of course, it has to be in the association with devotee, but yeah, because you alone, it's not so strong. But if you are with someone, then they will enliven you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for a wonderful class. May I add a bit comment, please? May I add up?
Yes.
In this verse, gṛhīta-cetā. Gṛhīta-cetā is very, very important word in this verse. Though Śukadeva Gosvāmī is a purely transcendentalist, nairguṇya, he is beyond sattva, raja and tamaguna. He has nothing to do with material things. But he got gṛhīta-cetā. He got attracted to the uttama-śloka-līlayā, the Leelas of the uttama-śloka of Krishna's. That is why he went to study. Formally, he went on for studying this. So he got, though he was nairguṇya, nairguṇya means Brahma Bhuta stage. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. They do not desire anything. But though he does not have any desires, but he has a desire to study formally the uttama-śloka-līlayā. So gṛhīta-cetā is very important word in this verse.
Thank you. That is one of the points that I was going to say, and of course, important point I always forget. Thank you very much for reminding me. So gṛhīta-cetā, gṛhīta means accept. Also here is attraction here in this text. Prabhupada translate acceptance, and acceptance, like in Bengali said, Grankolo, please accept, please take this book, like that, they say that. But then here Prabhupada said attraction. So he said and accepted that with Cetā, the consciousness. And then why he was already nirguṇa platform. Nirguṇa platform means transcendental. Sometimes impersonal say no guna means no impersonalist, but Prabhupada always explained nirguna, that means beyond the quality, that means transcendental platform. So I was going to say about this point, Atmarama Chamurayo Nirgantana Pirukrame Kruvante Haituki Bhakti Nitya Buddha Gunohari. He was already Atmarama's platform, he was transcendental, he was Atmarama platform, but he was attracted to Itam Buddha Gunohari. Because Krishna's pastime, his quality was so attractive, even though he was transcendental platform, because Krishna was so attractive, he was transcendental. And then he became attracted because he was not in a mode of material nature. That is a very important part I was going to say, and I forgot. Thank you very much for reminding me. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So I will come back.
Mataji, thank you for describing all the pastimes of the Lord, like Damodar Leela. And my question is that does bhakta or devotee also go through this realization, impersonal, then Paramatma, then coming to the absolute truth, or he directly got the realization of absolute truth?
Prabhupada already gave the final. His name, his Panam mantra, Nirvesesha Sunya Bhari Paschacha Dishatarine. He already rejected all impersonalist and Paramatma. It is imperfect realization. So he gave Bhagavan realization. We don't have to go step by step. It takes many, many lifetimes. Bahunanja Manante. We don't need to do that. Prabhupada gave a fortunate. We didn't do anything. We may not be done, but Prabhupada gave us good fortune. So all the thing was already done. Prabhupada gave us that. That is our good fortune to have Prabhupada. Yes, it's okay. Yes. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. I don't know if I'm imposing too much. You know, Parikshit Maharaj was the emperor of the world, and Lord Chaitanya has predicted every town and village his name will be sung, which means the Vedic civilization is going to be all over the world, according to his prediction, his desire, his will, and Srila Prabhupada's mission. So are we ready? Are we ready for that? Because, you know, it started with a very humble offering, but now, as we can see, he was the emperor. So are we ready for taking over the world like Srila Prabhupada wanted? The second point I quickly want to mention is that one of the aspects of birthday celebration from Vedic culture, we read it all the time, that it is to give charity to Brahmins, not blowing of the candles on the cake. This is blowing the light away, whereas Vedic culture means giving light, either giving charity of light or knowledge. So when are we going to start implementing it? And one other point on the same line is Sankaracharya established Jaya Jagadisa Hare, or his follower, and it is still very, very prominent. Why isn't one of our Vaishnavacharya song becoming prominent? Everywhere you see, wherever there is Hindu gathering, that is the most common arti, Jaya Jagadisa Hare, which was established by him. So, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the time is up. Thank you very much for a wonderful comment. And the one thing I was reminded me about Lord Chaitanya, one of the things I want to say. Very end of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the last word of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is by performing congregational chanting of holy name, we can deliver whole world. That is the very last shloka of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So that is the conclusion of today's class. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.